Who do you think makes the best arepas? Like, what country do you think makes the best arepas?
Well, I'm talking to you. It's going to be Colombia, right?
Nah.
Why does this speak to you? Is it something that's a food memory?
Being a little boy in Cuba, there was not much to go around. Especially protein is like very scarce. So it's humbling just to cook for the four of you to fulfill my American dream, which is this right here.
When a plate is licked clean, that is truly something special.
Hola, mitú familia. It's Lau here, and I am here with the one and only Chef Aarón Sánchez. Hola, Chef.
¿Cómo estás, querida? ¿Todo bien? Thank you for having me.
Of course. No, thanks for speaking with me. I just have to let you know off the bat that you were quite literally the glue that kept our family together during quarantine. Like, for some reason, we decided to binge like the MasterChef Junior seasons that you were a judge on, and like I can't thank you enough. It was awesome.
Thank you. Aren't those kids cute?
They're so cute, but I don't know how like you don't cry whenever one of them leaves. Like
I do. Trust me. I'm the worst because my kid is the age of the kids that are competing, where Gordon's kids are older and so are Joe's. So I'm like living that age group, every day at home. So it's, I have for me, I'm very much invested in them because I'm always like, oh my God, what would my son do at that point or whatever,
That's MasterChef Junior, but MasterChef Legends.
MasterChef Season 11, Season of Legends, is going to be unprecedented in terms of the culinary talent that we've assembled to join us. So in essence, we have like a fourth judge on each episode, which is going to really raise the stakes. And we have the biggest names in the culinary world: Morimoto, Jonathan Waxman, Curtis Stone, Sherry Yard. I mean, you name it. We have the creme de la creme with the purpose of them sharing their culinary experience. Everything is ramped up this season.
Do you have obviously I know you're going to be judging this season, right? But do you have like a preference of what side you'd like to be on? Like, do you like to be a contestant? Would you rather be a judge? Like, how do you feel about that?
In order to be a good judge, you have to be a good competitor. So, you have to put yourself in their position. I personally don't mind it. I think it's exciting to kind of get back in there and cook and feel that sort of energy. I know we do it from time to time. It depends on what we got going on, but I enjoy being a judge because I'm able to mentor, and I think I get a lot of satisfaction of helping people and being able to instill, all my experience and everything that I've gone through to help them get better.
How, like, when you get to a level where you're known as a legend, right? How do you personally continue to challenge yourself, and how do you continue to grow? Because I'm sure that never stops, right? Never.
If you find yourself talking to a person or a chef that says that they no longer learn, then there's something wrong. This process of cooking is always, and you're working on your craft and always getting better, So I have my scholarship, the Aarón Sánchez Scholarship Fund, where, I identify young Latino talent to succeed and plant seeds for that next generation of culinary leaders. So that's something that challenges me. And then also, just like the travel component of going out there and continuing to learn from those señoras and all of those great tastemakers that are from all over the world, that helps me tighten up my game and get better as well.
Where do you feel like you're most inspired? Is it when you're traveling? Is it when you're home? What do you think sparks that within you?
I get inspired by all things. I don't know if I can quantify one versus the other, but I can tell you when I travel, it's always exciting because I try not to go back to the same place. So every place that I visit, any new locale has to be something new and challenging. And then I like to put myself in there with those people that are from there and really get a good grasp on what they're all about, and it doesn't always have to be culinary. I mean, it could be music, it could be art, it can be so many different things. So, my best piece of advice for somebody, if you want to learn, when you go to a small town, ask the locals who's the best cook in town. And chances are there's going to be a consensus about it, and seek that person out.
My family is actually from Colombia, and times where I've visited before, the best food is definitely in los pueblos, like just in like the heart of, what it is, what Colombia actually is. I totally agree. I mean, I'm no cook, but I can definitely enjoy some good food. So I definitely understand. And you mentioned your foundation, your scholarship fund. Can you tell me a little bit more about like what, inspired you to start that, like kind of like the story behind that?
Initially, when I started doing this, 25 years ago or however long it's been a long time, I saw a huge discrepancy as far as Latinos being leaders in the kitchen. I didn't want the educational part of it, the culinary school part of it, to be a crutch or an obstacle. I wanted to give back to an industry that's been so rewarding and so generous to me. And the only way of doing that is to think about the future, and our most precious commodity in this world is our youth. That was really sort of the genesis behind the scholarship. And I wanted to make sure that we were diverse as far as women versus men, as far as all different kinds of Latino groups, and not just focusing on Mexican or Caribbean or South American, but just really have a beautiful mixture.
I'd love to hear, if you've been inspired by mentorship, if there's someone in your life, in your family who you consider a mentor and like that, what that effect has been on your career.
Any chef worth their grit has not just one mentor, but many mentors. I know that's the case for me. My mom's a mentor for sure. I have mentors for different points in my life. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important to have as well. You might need somebody that's maybe a strict disciplinarian when you're younger, and then you need somebody else, to kind of come into your life when you're going through the family sort of part of your life. And so there's many different people that have come in and out that have really inspired me, and I can call on, and they give me sagely advice and all that good stuff, because it's important. I want to be taken care of. I want people to have a vested interest in my success.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about your mom and and that relationship, and just, I guess, like how she started and you started. I'd love for our listeners to hear that story.
My mom grew up in a cattle ranch in northern Mexico, and she moved to El Paso, met my dad, and they had me and my twin brother, and the marriage didn't necessarily pan out, but my mom had always had this intense belief that she was going to have her name in lights, and she wanted to chase her dream. We left El Paso when we were very young, 6 or so, and we drove up to New York City for her to chase her dreams of having her own restaurant, and she definitely accomplished that and more. She's been pivotal as far as an inspirational point of view and a mentor, and also never giving up kind of thing. So we have a podcast called Cooking in Mexican from A to Z on Heritage Radio Network. So I encourage everyone to tune in. We focused on one ingredient or one style of the Mexican diaspora, and then invite guests to kind of talk about that and how to utilize the ingredients, how to make recipes from them, how to store them, where to go find them, all that good stuff. So it's a really good primer for people that love Mexican food and culture.
What do you have to say to those Latino chefs, or they don't even necessarily have to be chefs, right? But someone who looks up to you as an inspiration, like what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Find your voice, find your voice, and don't try to regurgitate your mentor's work, but find what speaks to you. I think that's extremely important. And, set a list of goals and engage those people that you want to learn from, and make no excuses, And I think, sadly, a lot of people just do the bare minimum to get by in the workplace and life. So if you show that extra effort, you're going to get recognized quick and you're going to move up.
Did you ever feel a moment where there was some kind of pushback, or maybe you were misunderstood because of your culture? And if so, how were you able to overcome that? Or maybe, people embraced it with you along your career. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people that makes excuses, or say, I was racially discriminated against or any of that stuff. Was that a part of when I came up? Yeah, people, they say that Latinos were just dishwashers and prep cooks, you know what I'm saying? So, but I never paid attention to that. When you worry about what other people think of you, you become their slave. So you have to just stay in your lane and do your thing.
My most important question before we wrap this up definitely has to be, who do you think makes the best arepas? What country do you think makes the best arepas?
Well, I'm talking to you, it's going to be Colombia, right?
No.
I'm talking to somebody from Venezuela, maybe Venezuela. But no, they're different. I mean, I think the arepas from Colombia are usually fatter, like they're thicker, and they're not as flat like the ones in Venezuela. I love Colombia. I mean, I've been many times. I've been to Venezuela as well. I would have to say Colombia for sure.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You know, just the right thing to say. But I really, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much, Laura.
I know the Mitú Familia is going to be super excited to hear this. So don't forget, listeners, to tune in on MasterChef Legends Season 11. It's going to be so exciting. Gracias.
Gracias, guapa.
Because if you want to be a legend, you need to learn how to cook like one. This is MasterChef Legends.